Hey Jodok,
Hey Charles,
how are you, man?
how are you?
Good on my side. Sunny day here in Mexico. Where are you calling me from?
Oh, nice. I'm in London. I'm in London.
I love London. It's one of my favorite cities in the world.
It is. Where are you in Mexico?
I'm in Michoacan right now. It's not that known. It is like 7 hours west, I believe, of Mexico
Yeah.
City. In the mountains, basically, like most people think Mexico is all beaches, but uh, like I'm in those mountains, Lake View, and yeah, it's a part of Mexico I didn't knew.
Nice. Are you Mexican?
No, do I look Mexican?
No, you don't, but you sound maybe a little bit.
I I look like 50% French, 25 English, and 25 Irish. I'm from Montreal,
Okay,
Canada,
nice. Yeah,
French speaking part, and yeah, my wife is Mexican though, and I do consider myself Mexican rather than Canadian. I've been there for so long.
nice. Yeah, I'm actually flying to Mexico City next Saturday.
Really, where
Yeah,
are you gonna do there?
gonna be there, working from there a week. Then I'm flying to Oaxaca for Dia de los Muertos, and then back to Mexico City where I have some friends. I'm gonna be overall 2 weeks in Mexico.
My wife's from Oaxaca. We
Oh,
spend,
really?
yeah, like we spend most of our time there. We're
Nice.
actually gonna buy a ranch there pretty soon.
Really
And I'm glad
nice.
that you know it because like most of people don't know Oaxaca.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty famous for the Dia de los Muertos parties there. So apparently some good events, and I have some friends from Mexico City who are gonna throw a big event there. So I'm
Nice.
excited to see it.
I'm curious, where is, the name Jodok Bet's chart?
Jodok,
Where's that from?
yeah. It's actually, I mean, Betchart is a Swiss name, my last name,
Okay,
so I'm full Swiss.
yeah.
And Jodok is a Celtic name. Yeah, but I'm full Swiss.
Okay, interesting. Did you have any questions for the podcast or should we just roll into it? Right. So maybe you can just tell us a bit about your background, a bit about Evenito, and we can roll into it like that.
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, my name is Jodok, CEO and co-founder of Evenito, founded 4.5 years ago. We are an all-in-one event software provider for corporate events. Yeah, our software covers virtual, hybrid, and in-person events, and our clients they organize any kind of event and any kind of event complexity with our software. And yeah, have now more than 200 clients. I'm focusing mainly on sales, legal, all the commercial side, and my partner and co-founder Nico focused on the product side. So we started together, the two of us, and now we are around 35 people, and yeah, have offices in Hamburg, London, and Switzerland. These are the focus markets in Europe.
Quite exciting. How do you guys compare with Eventbrite? Because most people know Eventbrite. How do you differentiate yourself from them?
Yeah, so the Eventbrite is focusing really on, let's say, a simple event where you and me want to set up a birthday party or a concert where you need a simple ticket, yes or no, one template. You can't really change a lot, but it's super easy to do yourself. So it's very scalable, and that's really a good part. Very similar is a Hopin that became very famous the last few months, where you have basically one template, not a lot to change, but it works for the simple user with not high requirements. On the other hand, you have the big corporates like insurance, like a bank, like a luxury brand that organizes a few hundred events per year. Also, small events, big events, any kind of event where you need a registration or a communication. And they have a lot of different event process complexities. They have high requirements in terms of design, in terms of personalization. And this is what we focus on. So, really, the clients with high requirements that organize a lot of different kind of events that they want to have one tool to cover all the processes.
Hmm. Um, this is interesting. The website looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank
You
you,
seem
thank
you
you.
seem to have big names as clients. Did you guys get any funding for that?
We started self-funded, so we bootstrapped the first 2 years, and then got a small seed round of around 1.7 million 2 years ago. And now we reached break even since half a year, so we're in a good state. But of course, are considering doing a next kind of growth, kind of kick maybe next year, do another round. But yeah, so far we're doing good. We're break even, and we can cover our own cost and still grow. So that's pretty good.
So like I'm checking the pricing. It's in Swiss francs. How much of your efforts are focused in percentage in Switzerland, for example?
So we have the prices also in euros and I think pounds. The focus definitely, is big or was big in Switzerland. We started there. So the first 2 years, 2.5 years was full focus on Switzerland, where we won pretty big clients quickly, like AXA, big insurance, like Zürcher Kantonalbank, a big bank, like SBB, the National Train Service, and others. But then we opened the office 2019 in Germany. And Germany is now also one of the big markets and the big focus markets for us. We opened last year in London in the UK, which is the biggest market in Europe. We started right during COVID and lockdown times, so that was quite challenging and difficult.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we won big names like Disney, for example, which did a lot of virtual events with us. We won some other good clients here in the UK as well. But yeah, these three markets are definitely the focus markets. We have clients all over Europe and clients that organize events all over the world. These are the focus markets so far.
Why did you decide to go in the events niche? What motivated you to start this company?
Good question. So I worked in finance. So I studied accounting and finance. I worked in finance for 5 years, but always loved events. I organized a lot of events myself. I worked in kind of a weekend job in event agency to organize high quality events together with Nico, my business partner, and basically my best friend since we're in uni. So we know each other for more than 10 years. We lived together for many years, and we always organized high quality events. But we're never really happy with just organizing events. We looked for a scalable solution within the event industry and had to organize like a registration process for a big hotel opening in Switzerland. And then we got on the idea to actually create that to a scalable solution that other kind of clients can use as well. And this is how we got into that event software space. And we just found out very quickly that most of the big industries and big corporates have the same requirements. Is it a insurance where you have headquarters and all the general agencies? If it's a luxury brand with all the branches, if it is a finance company, they all have the same requirements in terms of ticket contingencies, in terms of registration process challenges. And this is how we kind of founded the company and build a tool which is very scalable and is kind of usable by any industry or any company.
This is quite interesting. As I was filling my LinkedIn biography, because it had all holes inside it the other day from my entrepreneurial journey, I put like all the boring jobs that I had in the past, but I remember that I was actually organizing events myself back in the days in Eventbrite. I think that the name of the meetups were Carpe Diem meetings or something like that. It was about business meetings, and I had this background too. But it's interesting to tell people that the why of events and the magic. And we're pretty much the same age, you and I. We probably grew up, with a computer screen in front of our eyes. So meetings are pretty cool because, it's where you can exchange ideas, meet new people, potential new business partners. Tell us about like did you organize like yourself some of these entrepreneurial meetings when you were back at university yourself?
Yeah, I think the why is a really good question, and a question which really drives you like every day. And the motivation is important for you, but also then to kind of give it to the team and to the people around you. So the why you mentioned before, like what do we actually want to achieve, or why do we do what we want to do, is really to bring people together, which then creates something new. So creating relationships, which then in the end evolve into new partnerships or new ideas, and they create great things together. together. That's our main target, to connect people and create great things out of these ideas that get kind of torn together in such events. And this is what we really like to improve. And we think now even with a virtual or a hybrid kind of format is even more challenging, and but also then on another level or another side even more scalable and more efficient. So here we think we can really make a difference in the future, and these new hybrid event models are just really the future, and every corporate wants it, and there is such a big kind of efficiency advantage and a big scalability within these opportunities.
There's magic like in person. There's also magic remotely, like softwares, they allow you to add little touches of magic which are not possible in person. What do you mean by hybrid?
Yeah, so hybrid is basically organizing a physical event for the people that want to be there, that let's say event with 50 or 100 people, but then at the same time allowing people to dial in from anywhere of the world, having the possibility to have speakers from, let's say, from India or from Mexico and from the US at the same time, having also attendees at the same time. This opens a lot of doors for the reachability. You suddenly reach many more people. It's much more scalable. The cost per event is much lower if you only do the virtual part, but also if you do a hybrid, because not 1,000 people have to be at the event. Maybe you only need to host 50 or 100 people, which means the ticket prices are going to be lower. More people can afford to actually go to the event. Like someone that doesn't have a lot of money from, I don't know, somewhere in a small village in India can dial in and actually attend the big speeches of important people, and that just opens and creates new possibilities, which are great. And there are many more advantages that we see and which we think are great, and why we are kind of trying to improve our solution every day.
Pre-COVID, were you SaaS model? And tell us a bit about your emotions going through COVID. Were you stressed out? Were you scared? And what kind of business pivot happened, like business-wise, when that happened?
Yeah, super scared, super stressed out.
Yeah,
I
we
can
all
tell
were.
you,
No?
I just moved to London February 2020, moved to London, opening a new office, super excited.
Oh my God.
Full of enthusiasm. Opened the office here. 2 weeks later, lockdown hit, Corona came, and
full of innocence.
Yeah, exactly. We were fully focused on physical events. None of our 200 clients ever asked for a virtual event, to be transparent, and we have many big clients. No one ever asked for a virtual event, and now suddenly events were not allowed anymore. The problem was you didn't have any idea what is going to happen. We have never experienced a pandemic. We didn't know which direction it goes, and mainly the client didn't know what they want, and they didn't know what to plan and when to start again or whatnot. And that insecurity just really was difficult, because we couldn't plan, they couldn't plan. Short term, we decided, of course, we need to go virtual. We need to pivot into virtual, so add a virtual part. I mean, most of the processes are the same. You want to have an event website, you want to send out the invitation, you want to do the registration. All these processes and tools and functionalities are used the same way. We just added the virtual streaming and, of course, interaction. And that part we integrated in the beginning with an external tool, and then decided to build our own solution. And now we really have an all-in-one solution, combining these different functionalities into one. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of decisions where we didn't know if it was the right decision, a lot of wrong decisions, which we then had to find out ourselves and change it on all the divisions. We had new challenges on the sales side, we had new challenges on the customer success side, on the product side, on the marketing side. We just had to try and learn and do a lot of failures. But then again, I think in the end we came out stronger than we were before, and we have a product. We found a new product market fit, which even has a bigger scalability and more potential than what we did before. So nice. I think we learned a lot out of it, and we're very strong now, and we have a good product. But it was a very challenging 1 year or 18 months for all of the employees, for many different reasons and new challenges and the uncertainty on all sides.
Yeah, I think it's like most challenges in life, they become, first they're super scary, but at the end, they're filled with opportunities, a bit like the shirt here, Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary to start an Iron Man, but I mean, once you do it, you're stronger, and that's like human resiliency, right? That's adaptation. I'm curious, as the finance guy. Um, did you raise pre-COVID or post-COVID?
We raised pre-COVID. That
Okay,
was
so you had
pre-COVID.
cash in the bank at least, but I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you were still a bit stressed out. Did like you lose a bunch of customers at this time, like 25%, like most people, or?
Yeah, especially kind of the short term, or like the smaller clients, the A and the B clients, the big ones, they continued. They
Yeah.
knew they were going to go back to their event strategies. The small ones, the one-off events, they of course churned, or many of them they didn't continue. They didn't prolong their contracts, so there was quite a lot of churn. But at the same time, we were able to keep our kind of revenue levels pretty well, and of course gain some new revenue with some new virtual clients. So yeah, we were pretty stable. But of course, also we had a high kind of cost structure with many employees and
Yeah.
on the growth path, and of
Mm.
course that had a big impact. But yeah, we were lucky to have a financing round
Yeah.
before. I
Mhm.
think also then after that, you maybe read about Hopin, which raised now almost up to 700 million within 2 years, have now like, I don't know, 6 to 10 billion valuation. Virtual event software, other like Bizibu, a competitor of ours, raised 200 million. So there were many big investment rounds going into the event software market, which has never happened before. So valuations and investments that have never happened before in the software event tech space have now happened, and suddenly the investors and the people were aware of why a tool like that is needed and what kind of potential there is, and that has
Hmm.
also had a positive impact on our industry.
Interesting. I'll check them out. I didn't know either of them, but yeah, there's certainly an opportunities for these types of platforms as like most people shifted online. I'm in the team section of the website here. I want to clarify a few things. Are you co-CEO with Nick?
Yeah, exactly. We are co-CEOs. We started the company together. We didn't want to say one of us is CEO and the other does something else. We both
Okay.
started. We both on the same levels. We decide together. He always focused on the product and the
Mhm.
operations, and I focused on the commercial side. And there we complement each other very well. And we never had a situation where we wanted to go different ways. So I think,
Hmm.
yeah, had a good positive experiences so far, but many questions arise also during investment rounds, etc. Who is calling the shot in the end?
Yeah.
But I think so far we have been going well in that kind of role.
This
Yeah.
is interesting.
So
Like you guys have definitely something special if there's no well, I mean, conflict, conflict in itself, we need to define the word because conflict is good. Conflict leads to
exactly.
good
And we have many
decision.
discussions and many conflicts.
Yeah,
many,
like
many
all good
heavy
couples.
discussions.
I have my co-founders too for my supplement company, and we fit like really well together. We stopped operating that startup just because it's not an easy market like physical products. Like if you have challenges in SaaS now try to sell something physical with like 10,000 other competitors, but that's a story I'll say for another time. So co-CEO and then another question I have, like product strategy, Nick, and then you have Tobias, which is chief of product. What's the difference between both?
So yeah, I mean, Nico and me started together. He built the product up for like 3 years, and he led the product development, but also the product conceptualization. And then Toby joined our team and the management 2 years ago. We started together with him. We know each other also since 10 years. And he's the very structured guy that can deliver and can bring in process, and Nico is more the creative guy. And Toby started to really be on a product delivery side, so really leading the product owner, leading the tech team. And Nico is more conceptualizing the future of the tool. In which direction do we go? What do the clients want? Getting really feedback and iterations of the tool and the clients and the future needs. And that's kind of the role they have and how we work together.
How do you hire a great COO?
A great COO?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Because Tobias is the COO, right?
It is, yeah, he is the COO. And I mean, we were lucky to know him for a long time. I had some courses at uni with him, and we just rocked it, and he rocked it, and he was one of the best guys I've ever worked with together on a study side. Nico worked with him in a consultancy side, and we both knew him very well, and we said this is the perfect guy we need. And then we started to sit together with him and convince him, and it took us maybe half a year. And after half a year, he joined the team and the management, and he was definitely the best hire we could have ever done. And he's now on a management position and leading the team and working together with us on the same level. So I think definitely a key hire for us and the game changing moment.
Yeah, definitely. CEO is one of the key pieces on the chessboard for sure. It's probably the queen. The queen for sure. True. Like you're the king. True. And like the queen, she kicks asses and she protects you, and she attacks. Okay, so I like it. I mean, yeah, your tip there is to make sure to know the person, which is probably the best tip out there. Like you don't need to have personality test and all these questions if you already worked with the person. So that's a great that's a very good tip. I'm going to ask you the same question this time for your head of business development, because this podcast we like to touch on things about sales. So tell us your tips to hire a great sales leader.
Sales leader, yeah. I mean, here again, we have been pretty lucky as we had people following us. So, competitors from different parts of the world. Now, for example, in Germany, our head of Germany, he followed us and he knew us, and suddenly he saw a role written out and he applied. And we found him two and a half years ago, and he really developed into a great sales leader and building up a new office and finding new talents. And in the end, I mean, we met many times, and of course you have the normal things like do the pitch me the sales strategy and the vision, and first of all prove yourself and close some deals. But in the end, I think what is super important is trust each other, the loyalty that you can feel after a while to the team, but also to you as a company and the vision. And just being on the same level on a personality side, liking each other, going out for a beer and for a dinner after work, and enjoying the path. To the kind of reward, and not just enjoying the reward itself. And we closed that many deals, but actually enjoying the path to that target together. And that is for me super important. I mean, in the end, I'm not gonna be able to say what is the perfect interview, how to find that person. In the end, we trusted our gut feeling to attract the right people. I think I'm pretty good. That's one of my key strengths, personality-wise, to find the right people around me on the personal side, but also now on the business side. And I think I can find the people that I can trust, that they also find the right people, and we kind of attract the right people, because that's key to grow. And for example, to trust each other to actually continue that. So it is pretty hard. It's tough. I've also had some fail hires. Not going to go too much into detail there, but I didn't listen on my gut feeling and my intuition for once. I had that gut feeling, and he convinced me with other parts, with presentation skills and everything around. And after 2-3 months, I just felt the gut feeling it was always right, and I had to change things. But that was definitely an awakening times for me to really trust your gut feeling. That's important.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of that too. I think it's life is always, that there's a line and there's two things. So there's gut feeling, and sometimes there's also, I'm just a nice guy, I'll give him a shot, and then you give that person a shot, and next thing you know, they waste your time, money, and energy for like 2 to 3 months, and well, I think
Exactly.
like on my side, I sometimes have this problem. I give people chances. I give them, because that's also subscribing to my beliefs in humanity. I believe anyone can accomplish anything, anyone can change, but sometimes we give people too much slack, just like a dog that's not ready to walk without a leash, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, the dog runs away or bites another, so you always need to be careful with that. And yes, like intuition is probably the number one skill to have as a CEO. I mean, we fill our brains with all kinds of data on books, podcasts, audiobooks, and then we get those insights, right? You need to treat your brain well, obviously, do some sport, meditation, feed yourself well, and boom, then you get your insights, and we get those specific data points that most humans don't have. So that's definitely super important when it comes to hiring, definitely. How do you create a great culture at Evenito?
Yeah, super important. I mean, especially for a young company that maybe cannot offer the biggest salaries and the biggest, other kind of beneficial parts of a job. But what we can offer is a culture and a team vibe, and people that like each other, that like to work with each other, that help each other out. So what we do is we definitely do a lot of team meetings where we try to motivate people to give each other feedback. So we have a really, really open feedback culture, and we push that a lot. And that kind of gives people the feeling that they are all on the same level. They can challenge each other, they can challenge each other's idea. So that open feedback culture, which we push and push and push a lot, again, is something which is really important to us. Then we do a lot of trips together. We try as often as possible, even just go for a hike, a 1-day hike together, experience things, and really get closer to each other. Respect each other as friends, but at the same time also as business partners and colleagues. That's super important. And I think, yeah, on the other side, also building up a performance culture where we push each other on a positive way to kind of reach the limit and reach the max, and be proud and celebrate when we reach something, when we close the client, or when we got a good feedback on the customer success side. And I think celebration and actually enjoying the ride and
Yeah.
having fun together, that's such an important part, which was hard to do during COVID times. So that was definitely the biggest challenge, I would say, from a management perspective, because people were not really happy on a personal side. We cannot motivate them because they sit at home, and after the fourth virtual beer, everyone's like, oh, I don't have any kind of I don't want to do that anymore. I had enough virtual beers. And I think that was a big challenge, but and we felt how important this part is then when you actually can meet each other and do stuff together and motivate, and give a clap in the evening and say thank you so much for your hard work. So I think the culture of a young company is so important. And what an important part of the culture is also the vision, because the company needs a vision. They
Yeah.
need to know in which direction we go. And of course, during COVID times, their vision was not there. We didn't know in which direction we go for certain times. We didn't
The
know if we're
vision
going to
is
virtual
chaos
and
and end of the
hybrid.
world.
Exactly. So yeah, that showed us how important the vision is and how important the communication of the
Yeah.
vision is. So you need to communicate that vision again and again and again, and everyone needs to know in which direction we go and why we go there and why we believe in that. And that really motivates people on a daily basis. And also,
Exactly.
also yourself.
Yeah, like, I mean, vision is everything as a leader. It's just when you go on hikes, people are tired, they're sunburned, and they're like, shit, when are we gonna reach that top, And as a leader, you're like, hey, we're almost there, guys. Relax, and enjoy your ride, and we're getting there. Just show a bit of patience, and that's what makes us powerful as leaders, is that when there's almost no hopes, we are motivation creating machines. We create motivation out of nothing, out of thin air, whatever the situation. however days of food rationing there's left, even if there's three days food rationing left, well, we're going to create a solution and find some more, and I think this is definitely a key characteristic of a leader, which you definitely are. So this is the end of the podcast. You're a busy guy, I am too, so just gonna leave it to that. And Jodok, thank you for coming in today. Really appreciate it. Really nice conversation we had.
Cool. Thank you, Charles.
All right.
Yeah, it was really nice to talk to
We'll
you.
catch you later.
Take care. Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
good one. Bye.